Aloha, Bob.
Aloha.
And mahalo for coming today.
A great pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day here in Hawaii, and it's great to be back. The first time we met, I remember I said, "Oh, you're Bob Midkiff, the president of American Trust Company of Hawaii. You need to get into the 401k administration business."
Of course. We learned together how to do this all together and really got this to be an official story.
Well, you made me Mr. 401k in the Hawaiian Islands, and it was sometime in the mid-1980s I had read that there were only 200 401k plans in the United States.
Yeah.
And we had set up 60 or 66 of those 200.
Yep.
And then when you hired me as a consultant, the next thing I know, I have an office next to your office.
Yeah.
I have an expense account.
Yeah.
I have a membership at the Plaza Club for entertaining clients, and a secretary.
Yeah.
You gave me the tools at a young age.
Yeah.
I was in my mid-20s
Yeah.
to be able to go out there and really make a difference in the business community. Well, I'm really happy that you took time out of your busy day to come here and relive a very important phone call we made years ago. When I had first moved out here, 401k was a law on the books, but they hadn't finalized the law at that point. And there were a lot of legislators in Washington, I can't mention names, a couple of them are still alive, and I don't want to be crucified for saying the wrong thing, but they felt that the 401k plan at the time was a tax loophole for the rich guy. And when in fact we knew it was the best way for the average American employee to save a little bit each paycheck long term for their retirement. So you said to me one day, I had just finished doing a big hospital's 401k plan where I was communicating to thousands of employees over a 2-week period. You said, we need those numbers because they're going to vote on 401k in Washington 2 weeks from now. We need to make a phone call to Washington. And I said, who are we going to call? And you said, the head of the Finance Committee and the head of the Ways and Means Committee. And I said, how are we going to get those guys on the phone? And you said, through Senator Spark Matsunaga, our senator. Remember that?
Yeah, we got, that really breaks, that change. Wonderful guy.
I said, okay, when's this phone call going to take place? You said, 9 o'clock, be in my office. And Spark Matsunaga, our senator at the time, now the late senator, showed up, came in, and it was just the three of us in your office on the speakerphone. And Sparky made the call and got the head of the Finance Committee and the head of the Ways and Means Committee on the telephone. And you talked for, I don't know, 20 minutes. Sparky made the introductions. And then when it was my turn to talk, I told them that we had done a $38 million payroll 401k plan, the biggest hospital in the Hawaiian Islands, and that the average rank and file employees, the custodial staff, cleaning the floors and the bathrooms, we're talking the income group was in the $10,000 to $25,000 income group. They were putting a higher percentage of pay into their 401k accounts as a percentage of pay, a higher percentage of pay than the doctors that were making 5 times the amount of money. And that was the example we used that I brought out, and I had all the numbers there, and we got into the specific numbers to convince those guys that this was really a tax-deferred savings plan that was working for the average American.
Absolutely, the bottom. They really listen to that.
And so we said goodbye, and I asked you if I needed to find another office. And it was a week. A full week had gone by. When the law came down, I'll never forget. You walked into my office with the pile of paper that came across the fax machine, which was the way the law came down, and you looked me in the eye and you said, you changed the course of history. And I said, me? I was just on the phone call. Bob, You changed the course of history. For 401k in this country today, there's over $3 trillion in 401k plans today.
Yep.
So that people don't have to rely 100% on Social Security. They now have their own savings.
It's a good story.
Isn't that a great story?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you're here to share it, because I wanted to capture it for the history of the country.
Yep.
The point of the story is 2 guys out here in Hawaii, the 50th state, through our elected officials, could make the right phone calls and make a difference and get this country back on track.
It was a great pleasure. I'm happy to do that, and it works out just as you see.
Yeah, and we can put a number to it. Almost $3 trillion.